Hey guys, it's Mel, and it is actually exactly 17 minutes after 2 here in Costa Rica. Can you imagine? Anyway, reality is that Mrs. ET here, and I, when she came into my room, okay, we hit it off on a bad note because see, as soon as I see somebody else's Telegram group, my eyes literally turn red. I become like the Tasmanian devil. Because most of the time, 99.99999% of the time, it's always a scam. So I had just gotten off the podcast with Tim, and he had mentioned, your Telegram group, the name, and it's like, oh, after, because I always shoot first and ask questions later. So then I went after I deleted her. I didn't know I just deleted the CEO of QSI, and like, oh shit, I just deleted. So I realized that I said, hey, oh yeah, I'm with Tim. Okay, so I reinstated her, and that's how the relationship started to flourish. And here we are. Hey, welcome. You got a major announcement today. By the way, guys, before I forget, down below, the Quantum Financial Systems Manual, our Telegram, her Telegram, we're going to put that in there as well. Join us. We're here to help humanity transition over. Okay, and we don't charge you anything. It's free of charge. So I know you don't charge anything either, correct?
We do not. Nope.
Absolutely. So anyway, the bottom line is we have a major bombshell, and we got tangible, provable evidence, irrefutable, irrevocable evidence that you could touch, smell, feel. Okay. I'm going to give her the floor because she's going to tell you something that she's pretty adamant about. And the way she told me, I said, okay, I know she believes it and she's willing to prove it. So I'm going to give her the floor. Fair enough?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Mel. So actually, before I start talking about that, it's funny that you mentioned that because we were exactly the same way. And this time when we say we, I mean Whip and myself, right? So I had kind of heard about your name thrown around here and there. The first time I ever heard your name a couple of weeks ago was because people from my channel got scammed because they found the fake version of you. And so instantly in my head, I'm like, if somebody's trying to be a faker of the other person, that tells them that that person is probably a somebody, not a nobody, right? So that's kind of like the first iteration. And then afterwards, I saw a video, and I can't remember which video it was, or maybe it was a post or something like that. And this is like from the opposite side of you and I got off on the wrong foot, right? Because that post was about lobster. And I can't remember the words that you used, but it was along the lines of, lobster has a lot of scammers. And so maybe lobster's a scam. And I'm like, oh no, Mel Carmine's one of those guys. So, so I told my team, I was like, no Mel Carmine stuff. We don't like this guy. He thinks, Stellar is a scam. Lobster is a scam. This guy's no good. He's junk. And then I told Whip and I was like, Whiplash, no Mel Carmine posts. He thinks, the whole 9 years. So we're sitting here cracking our ass off. And then suddenly one of the guys from my team is like, hey, by the way, I think it was like, Mel Carmine just had Tim on his show. And I was like, well, I know Tim, like Tim's in my channel. He's in your channel. He's been getting the word out about Stellar and the QFS a little bit. And I was like, all right, let's go see what Tim has to say. And all of a sudden Tim is dropping bombs and he was like, and they're amazing bombs, right? And then he starts mentioning Whip and us with QSI. And I was like, wait, what's going on? So then so that was one video. And then there's another video. And all of a sudden he was like, if you need information, go over to QSI, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, just 48 hours ago, I was sitting here going, guys, Mel Carmine is a joke. He's a clown. Let's not talk to him. Whiplash, don't talk to him. And 48 hours later, here we are, egg on my face, coming back to you going, oh, Mel Carmine's the real deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But let's hit on Tim here for a little bit before we go. Guys, yeah. Tim doesn't, because everybody keeps asking me, so I want to clear the air. Tim doesn't have his own platform. He doesn't have his own, from what I understand, he's not, necessarily hurting for money. Okay, he's well-to-do. I don't know what he does for a living. I heard he is a photographer. I don't know. The next time he's actually on my show one-on-one, I will ask him. But the reality is he's more like, I don't know, what would you recognize? He's like a joint at a Grateful Dead concert that gets passed around a lot. But when you smoke it, you get real high. You know what I mean? Because this guy's got some amazing information. So anyway, there's my story on Tim. Tim, I hope that's a good analogy of you being passed around like a joint at a Grateful Dead concert.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
I'm sure.
Okay, so Mel, let me know if you can see my screen. I want to get into our big announcement, because one thing that I love about Mel, guys, is he's real, he's legit. I mean, there are so many people on YouTube, and in general, I hate YouTubers, guys. I hate them. And the reason why I hate them is because they're full of fluff. They're not really about getting the truth of the information out there to the public. They're more about clickbait titles and, you know, how many subscribers do I have? How many views do I have? But it's never about the content. And Mel's the real deal because he's all about the content, right? So let's get into this content now. Now, those of you who've been following my channel for a while, you know that we posted this information back in October, but a lot of people in the XRP community have not seen this before. So I want to share this because it's going to clear up a lot of fluff in the XRP community, right? Like, I come more from the Stellar, the XLM community. So anybody who's on Twitter who follows XRP most likely has heard this account, Stefan Huber, right? I'm sure you have, Mel, as well. And you know, for anybody who's new and they're kind of like, okay, you know, what's going on? Why is this so significant? You know, he says he's just some random Twitter dude looking around, you know, doing whatever. So I'm like, okay, so who's following him? He's not some random dude. Look, John Deaton follows him, Jerry Mahogan follows him, Digital Asset Investor Hall, you know, so many really, really big names follow him. So what's to do with this guy? Okay, let's go to the next slide, or next screen rather. He posts this stuff on October 20th, and I was busting up cracking because he says, you know what, SEC? I just sent my underage son unregistered, delisted illegal securities, and I'm going to do that every month from now on until there is on every month from now on, and there's absolutely nothing you or any of your minions can do about it. Okay, so guys, he is taunting the freaking SEC, the government. And if he's going to go and attack the government, I mean, and he's saying I'm doing all this illegal stuff, he should have gotten arrested, right? I mean, that's just kind of a hands down obvious, right? So I was like, all right, so who could this Stefan Huber be? Now, I might get egg on my face. I might be completely wrong about this, but this is just a best guess that I'm laying out. Stanford Business Graduate School. I know obviously this is a little outdated. It's from last year in June. At that point, he was a PhD candidate. So let's look at, you know, who this guy could potentially be. Stanford Graduate Business School. He researches banks, regulation, disclosure. Ooh, I like this. I like this. Yep. So he loves all this kind of stuff, and that really fits the bill. And then what did he do after that? If it's the same guy, he's now over at Rice University, and he's an assistant professor of accounting. So this guy, if it's the same guy, is really, really freaking knowledgeable. Okay, so now let's switch gears for a quick second. Let's talk about SEC and Gensler. And I'm going to make a statement that is probably going to be really, really, really not popular for the majority of the world until you actually understand what the heck I'm saying. All right, so this is a snippet from Digital Asset Investor. Right? I paused the screen because I want this little blurb on the screen right now. And he's talking about Gary Gensler, guys. Gary Gensler, to almost every single person in the world, is the bad guy. He's the asshole. He's the one who's against XRP. Well, what I think is the exact opposite. I love Gary Gensler. And I'm going to get so much shit for saying that, but I am dead serious. I freaking love Gary Gensler. Now, hear me out, guys. Okay, so Gary Gensler pushes Bitcoin agenda, right? He's been doing it for months and months and months, and he's just nonstop. Bitcoin is the thing, and we hate XRP because XRP is the devil. Well, now, but look, I don't even know who highlighted this, but they didn't even highlight my favorite part of this, guys. It says, we see him sometimes at conferences, and we spent lots of time walking through and telling him, here's where you are incorrect, and trying to give him a really good grasp of how the industry works. And then he agrees and he says, I get it. And then he goes off and repeats the same misinformation. Guys, think about that. If you know that everything that you're saying is wrong, and then you hear the right thing and you acknowledge it's the right thing, why the heck is he still saying the wrong thing? Hello, it's because Q said, what makes a good movie? Freaking good actors, right? That is literally the only logical explanation. Case closed. All right, now let's go on to the next slide. Back to Stefan Huber. This is on October 1st, guys. I want you to pay so much attention to the timestamps right now, okay? On October 1st, and my assumption, Mel, please correct me if I'm wrong. When I pull up these tweets, it's based on my timeline, okay? So this would be 9:16 in the morning, Central Standard Time. And he writes, how do you think we'll hear, how do you think we will first hear about the end of the legal dispute apart from price before action, right? And he's got all these different poll answers in there. And it looks like the vast majority of the Twitter sphere said, okay, it's going to be a tweet from the Ripple heads right here. So the reason why I pull up 9:16 is because lo and behold, guys, I shit you not, there was a freaking press release by Ripple themselves that freaking day. Okay, so before I show it to you, I'm going to give you the proof, right? Because everyone's always going to go, what's the proof? What's the proof? You could have made that crap up. Okay, this is the Wayback Machine, guys. It has the actual link to the press release that I'm going to show you in just a second. So here it says, loading, redirecting, and on the screen it says Ripple, right? So I go back in and I go into the actual Wayback Machine and I'm trying to find the stuff. And I can give you the links, Mel. I can give you the links. You can do this by yourself. The first link goes right back to Ripple. And if you look, right, so I got Wayback, Ripple on Wayback, and these are the dates that we're looking at, right? The times right there. If I scroll through, it just ends on September 30th. There's no October 1st message. It's completely been deleted. Okay. And then the next one, look, same, Wayback, Ripple. It's just a freaking a contact form. Why would Ripple make an announcement and now the only thing that you see is the contact form? Well, that doesn't make any logical sense. So I jumped ahead for a second. Let me now change my screen share because I want to show you something different, and then I'm going to come back to this, okay? So there's a lady on our team. Her name is Miriam. She's one of the leaders on our QSI team. And in the middle of us, like frantically grabbing screenshots left and right, she pulls this, and this is the actual press release copy, guys. She pulled it and she posted it. And so because I can't show you my Telegram, it's going to be those like picture within picture frames. I basically just copied, pasted, and here it is. This was released on October 1st at 8 a.m. And remember that this is 8 a.m. San Francisco time, which means it's 10 a.m. my time. Okay. And what time did Stefan Huber put his post out there? 9:16. So he posted almost 1 hour before this press release dropped. And here it clearly says the SEC Ripple legal fight is over. And here's all the copy. I can send a copy to you, Mel. I can tag you in my post. And on the bottom of that copy, again, here it says, here's the website, here's the Twitter link, and then here is the archive. And I kid you not, you click it and it goes right back to the same screens that I just showed you a second ago. So, I mean, this is really, really freaking crazy.
So this is basically an announcement saying the lawsuit has been settled. Can anybody say mic drop? Mic drop.
This was in October.
Holy
and
shit.
they released it and they took it off. And in the two instances where they had announced it, they deleted it from the internet. Mel, I actually forgot to pull one more post for you. Let me come back to that at the end, okay? So
I have one more breadcrumb to add to that. That means crypto fat boy, I call him, the biggest channel on crypto. You know who he is?
Yeah, I do.
I call him crypto fat boy because I'm fat myself, and I'm allowed to call somebody who's fat because I'm fat, So, but anyway, he said October, this thing was going to be settled. That would make him right.
Yeah,
Holy
I know, right?
Shit. It's all connecting. Go.
It is all connected. It is all definitely connected. Okay, actually, I have forgot to do this earlier, so let me put this in right now because I was supposed to. Can I put it in there? Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me stop the screen share because that's actually making me have issues with my screen right now. Uh-oh, I know we're live. I know time's a ticking, guys. I am conscious of that. I just want to make sure I get this on the right screen for y'all. Okay, let's bring it back. Okay, this is the picture I was trying to find earlier, and I actually accidentally deleted it, so I was frantically trying to find it again. Again, guys, this is posted in my channel, and it is a screenshot of what happened on October 1st, right? So Ripple puts out their press release, it gets pulled offline. And while we're, she posts that. So I'm trying to, frantically find, is this confirmation? Like, I can't take someone else's word, even though she's on my leadership team. I trust her with my life, but I want to go and see it, right? Like, I know, Mel, you're the same person. You want to go see something. So I go and I type in, is the SEC dropping the case against Ripple? And wow, look here, October 1st. This is, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Debevoise and Plimpton.
That's fine. That's close enough.
Right? Exactly. Look. And they announced that it has dropped. This is law.com, guys. Legalnewswire.com. This is finance.yahoo.com. 3 more confirmations right there.
Crypto, what is his name? The big chubby man, Crypto Boy. What is his name? What's his channel name?
BitBoy, right?
BitBoy Crypto. Okay. I apologize, BitBoy Crypto, because you said you had somebody talking to you in your ear. And I believe, based on what Emily has brought forward, you're right, sir. So my apologies.
And actually, BitBoy tried to reach out to me and teach me how to buy Bitcoin. He was messaging me in Twitter, and I was like, are you serious? Do you not know how to do math? The math is in them right now. So he was trying to give me lessons. He wanted me to pay him for lessons, and he had no idea who I was. I'm sitting up here giving free lessons to the world. Geez, just like you, Mel. All right, so there are a couple more things I want to show you before we wrap up this call. And let me just make sure I got the right one. Yeah, okay. So there's a guy named the channel is named Product Seraphim, but the guy's name is Zero Loop on Telegram. So he posted this, and I was just kind of pulling it forward and adding some commentary from him. He posted this video from Irrevocable, right? Like, all the people in the XRP world knows about Irrevocable, and he writes about how Tom Ember is kind of like one of the big kahunas in this XRP space. So I couldn't find like the exact part in the video of it, but because it's got my quote on there, I just wanted to make sure that people pay close attention to this, guys. So in the video that Irrevocable has, it says, if Ripple gets a hold of the internal SEC documents, it is checkmate, okay? The reason why I want to highlight this is because look at this article from 2011. This is 11 years ago. And what does it say? The SEC files were illegally destroyed. Hello? Okay, so let's scroll down. Let's see what was destroyed. At least 9,000 of whatever, because it's cut off and I don't know how to get, underneath that stupid screen. But look, it says it's Madoff and Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers, and Bank of America, Citigroup. Hello, these guys are all in with the SEC. They are buddies. And who's buddy with Ethereum and consensus with all of this with the SEC? JP Morgan is, right? I mean, it's the biggest banks in the world. They're all in cahoots with one another. It's just, it is one conspiracy after another. All right, so let's go back to Stefan Huber for a quick second. These were all posted, like here's September. Yeah, looks like most of it's September from last year. But if you read the pink boxes, I'm known for my pink boxes, so they're just much easier to see, guys. Nothing will burst as loudly and as cruelly as the Ethereum bubble. I love that. Okay, more, illegality, the illegal plan. They're all tricking people. And monopoly's about to go. I mean, everything's Ethereum, right? So why am I harping about Ethereum when we're talking about XRP? Well, it's because if you guys paid attention to Mel and my call from a couple days ago, that was a lot of it was about Ethereum, right? We were talking about how Ethereum is now being bridged into the Stellar network because of this XTC coin through Project Dunbar. So let's pull up a post. This was actually something I was talking on my channel just yesterday. And I didn't get into the call with you and me last time because we were, already over time. I wanted to talk about it, but this is a better day to talk about it anyways. This is an article, guys, from Crypto Globe, and it is stamp date February 24th. And it says, if Ethereum drops below the price of 2,100, it's going to lead to a $500 million liquidation. Okay, big time. So let's scroll down and take a read. It says, Ethereum, okay, nope, wrong one, right here. If it drops below that price, there's something called the maker vault holder position is going to become under collateralized and trigger $500 million in liquidations. What the hell does that mean, guys? Think about that. one single vault holder, meaning this guy is a whale. How do we know he's a whale? Because he has $500 million worth of just Ethereum alone. Who the heck has that kind of money? I don't have that kind of money.
He's a market maker.
Yeah,
he's a market maker.
What does a market maker mean? A market maker means it could be maybe a bank, maybe a hedge fund, maybe like something like that, so like some kind of a financial firm, most likely, right? I don't know who it is, but why is this important? Because guys, remember last time that Mel and I had a conversation, we were talking about Basel III, ISO, and Bretton Woods 3. And part of what Basel III talks about is you're taking gold and you're making it go from a tier 3 asset into a tier 1 asset. So guys, if these banks and hedge funds and all those guys don't have enough gold in their vault, they're under collateralized, and they're going to basically default because they don't have the funds to back up all their transactions. This is what that means. And then if you keep reading, it says, if it triggers that $500 million in liquidation, it's going to lead to further downward pressure. Guys, it is collapse after collapse after collapse. And what did Stefan Huber just say in that other picture, right? So this is September. He's saying Ethereum is the bubble. Once Ethereum drops, every freaking thing drops. The whole world collapses. Okay, so one thing that I talked about yesterday on my channel, I was going through that Ethereum article that I had just talked to you about a second ago, Mel. And one thing about QPost is, Whiplash is always talking about the 7 trumpets, the seven kingdoms. And I sat here and I was like, from a military intelligence standpoint, right? We talked about signals intelligence last time. Whenever you see comms, you have to read them in multiple angles. You have to try to figure out all the different definitions you can possibly think of for it. And I could be wrong, guys. Again, this could be a second time on just one call alone that I got egg on my face, but I'm willing to put this out there because I believe that the 7 trumpets could potentially be related to, let's go back here. Oh, the market vault holder is called 7 siblings. What the heck? More comms. Okay, 7 siblings, 7 sisters, 7 vaults, 7 trumpets. Now let's take a look at this from a military standpoint, right? Because this is a biblical thing. They talk about the green, the grass green, the trees are burning up, the seas become blood, the ships and sea life are destroyed, waters turn bitter. So what if the first of the 3 first 3 siblings are wallets? Then we go to trumpet number 4. 1/3 of the sun, the moon, and the stars do not shine. What if that is dark to light? What if that is SEC dark 10? Well, that would be certainly interesting. Then we go to trumpet number 5. Locusts wield the beast's military power. Well, we all know, those of us who are in the Q movement, we know that you've got crash and declass, right? In the middle of all that, you have all these other operations going on. You have the market crashes. You have, World War III, Nuclear World War III, at least the movie of Nuclear World War III, right? And then all these other things, the Three Gorge Dam, the Queen, yada, yada, yada. There's so much stuff involved in it. So what if this is the movie of World War III scenario, global martial law? Could be, I don't know. And then we go over to here, trumpet number 6, the 200 million man army, 1/3 of mankind will be killed. Well, obviously we have more than 200 million people now, but what does that mean? Because that sounds extremely ominous and very, very dark. Will 200 million people actually die? Well, I don't know, Mel. I think that might be a little far-fetched, but you could consider a couple other possibilities, right? First thing is, in this Q post, Q has said 4 to 6% will be lost forever. And this could be the entirety of the Black Hats and all their little minion people and all the different armies they've been bringing up over time. So maybe over time, that's the 200 million people that we're talking about. Or it could be also some of those people that are being arrested, right? Because we have so many hundreds of thousands, probably millions of sealed indictments. And where are all those arrests? We haven't seen those arrests yet. But we know that when everything is locked down, when we're in global martial law, supposedly that's when all the arrests are not for the big people, but for all the little minions out there. Supposedly that's when all the people get arrested. So that's the second definition, potential definition. The third potential definition is, well, Q also said that when all this stuff goes down, people will not be able to walk down the street. So what if it's not really killing of the person or arresting of the person, but killing of the ego? Because when D-class hits, these people's egos, their reputation, their public image is going to be killed for sure, because the whole world is going to know exactly what these MFs have been doing, for a long, long time. And then you come to trumpet number 7, the kingdom of God is declared. Well, hello, obviously that one means QFS and Gesera. So for me, that's a no-brainer right there. So let's go back and look at a couple more things before we end up, close up the screen share. Whip was like, we've been talking about, SEC Dark 10 for really, really long time. And SEC, obviously Security Exchange Commission, Dark 10, the conference analyzed. Well, when all of this stuff happens, it's because, again, we're just going to recap here. The markets are crashing. There's world war going on, and everything's chaos and mayhem. And in the middle of it, because the dollars are going to collapse, and it doesn't matter because they're not worth anything. You and I already know that, right? And our subscribers, our members know about that too. But when everything collapses, this is going to be an aha moment where finally the world is like, whoa, we've got to get onto something that's backed by assets, real physical assets. And what is that? That's the gold, the silver, right? All the precious metals. And that is digital, because digital is going to be backed, right? Because digital is going to be Basel III compliant, ISO 2022, and Bretton Woods 3 compliant. So when you add all that together, this post right here talks about XRP, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and the QFS system launching everything all over the world, the renaissance, the rebirth of the world. So with that being said, thank you so much, Mel, for letting me share this with your friends and with your family today. I'm just so excited because, guys, this is legit. XRP has already gone through their Dog and Pony show last October, and we've just been sitting here, waiting on pins and needles for the public confirmation, because most people don't realize that, again, guys, this is a military operation. They cannot tell you when they're going to do it, but they're giving us comms, right? They gave us actual proof, actual evidence that this information came out. And then they said, oh, no, let's take it away from you, because we don't want the rest of the world to know. The rest of the world has to watch our movie. But those of us who've been researching, we already know it's a movie. It's not real life.
Yeah, we're in the final stages because, like I always like to say, we got to wake up the normies. The normies only wake up when they got to go to the store and they got to pay $14 for a dozen eggs. When they when they go to the store and they got to pay $14 for a dozen eggs and $12 for a gallon of gas, they're going to say something's wrong. Really? No kidding, Jack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we got to wait for. So we're in the final stages of the war. I've been saying this for a while. There's a lot of normies out there. It's not like there's only 2. Otherwise, this is what would have been done. So the way that Trump is doing this, the way the 17th letter in the alphabet is doing this is textbook. The art of war. The art of war. Textbook. The art of the deal. Trump lives by these 2 books. Word has it that he's memorized both books, one of which he wrote, and he lives by it. See, this is like 007, Mission Impossible, Sun Tzu, The Art of War, rolled up into 1 times 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000, and you're almost there.
Yeah.
And you're almost there. This is highly covert, and if you can't see it, stop using Colgate toothpaste.
I know, right, Mel? Because at this point, you don't even have to do the decode yourself. I've literally given you all the information. All you have to do is just watch it. And if you can't watch and listen at the same time, then you're the one that's got issues, not us, Mel, because we've done the work. You and I, people like us, we've done the work.
Oh, man.
Goodness.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure that you and I are uniting, because me and you are going to capture lightning in a bottle. You know why? You were the last piece of the puzzle, and we're going to end with this. You see, I always knew that there were hidden gems in lobster. I want to set the record straight, okay? And something happened that I'll tell you off the record, off camera, because this person does not need any credit. But anyway, needless to say, the bottom line is, for every 1 good asset you're going to find, there's 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 bad ones. She has done all the legwork, and she's highly intelligent. I don't think you have to figure that out. She reeks of intellectual. She's got digital, currency blood running through her veins. Okay. So the bottom line is, she's already figured it out. She's got to the other side of the minefield without blowing up. Her limbs seems to be in complete perfect tact. Okay.
So far.
And so the reality is, if you follow in her footsteps and you don't want to play the guessing games of trying to figure out which one is good, which one is bad, which one is different, she tells you which ones you should invest in. And you just take $50 and it's like going to the Casino Royale, but your bet is like 99.9% sure to come in. So you place your bet, you wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Well, generational wealth. Is that too difficult? So now lobster becomes great. And I love lobster, the one that you actually eat, especially in butter.
I love both. I love both of them.
So there you go.
And you know what, Mel? It's not just about me doing the work into this, right? Like it's like with Q, there's no one person you listen to. You really wanted to go and do your own research into it. So what our group does, QSI, is we even actually put together a whole workshop this past Sunday. And we went through, it was like a 2-hour call, and we went through live time, some of the different things that we look through, because we're trying to teach other people so they can also do their own research. I don't want to be the person that everyone's relying on. I want to be the person that then teaches you so you can go teach a million other people. And that's how we get the word out much faster. And because the people are doing their own research, they can convince themselves, right? Because there's a very famous quote by Dale Carnegie, the guy who wrote, what is that book called? How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
Right. And in that book, he says, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still, which means you and I can't really influence too many people. I mean, we can, right? We can kind of point them in the direction, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to have the buy-in. So they're the ones that have to go and do enough research to say, wow, yes, Mel Carmine was right. Absolutely right. And before we end the call, I just have a quick thing I want to share with you.
Sure.
So our call the other day, as you know, obviously, because you've been posting it and it's on your YouTube channel, has gone viral. Well, I want to let you know how viral it is, because when I heard, I was so giddy. I was kind of like, little schoolgirl squealing in the background. But I am a massive, massive fan of Whiplash. Obviously, we talk very closely. I'm an admin of his channel and he's an admin of my channel. But Whiplash was so impressed by our information. He didn't just watch it once, because by the way, guys, Whip gets so much information. He's probably the hardest worker that I know, that oftentimes when he's, when people send him videos, especially if they're long videos, he doesn't have the time to watch all of it. He'll, kind of skip around, just double check, make sure it's real. But for ours, he didn't just watch it once, he watched it twice. He left a party early to watch the video, and then after he finished watching the video, he sent it to 2 people that I highly, highly respect and admire. And one person is our quantum friend, wink, wink, the one that I was telling you about last time on the call. And the other person whose name I cannot share, but if you know, he's known as number 18, and he's also known as Whip's boss. So if you know, and if you don't know, it's time to go do your freaking research on who that is.
Wow. You just blew my doors off. Holy shit. Oh, holy shit. That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
So, yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it that you guys, if you watch this far, I know you're excited because the lawsuit is settled. And Crypto, whatever his name is, I can't think of his name all the time. The big boy, Crypto Bit Boy. Thank you. You were right. In October, the thing was settled, except there are some puppet masters upstairs manipulating it. And if you don't understand that this 17th letter in the alphabet, Jasara Nasara, the quantum financial system, the computers in Reno, Nevada, if you don't understand that it's all connected to POTUS, who is connected to the puppet masters that tell the Ginslers, the guys that get shot in the foot for not bringing the coffee fast enough at the gangster table in Goodfellas. Okay, that's who Ginsler is. Those guys are just a bunch of guys that you print a bunch of money, you're going to give it to them, and they're going to follow orders.
They're a bunch of mung beans. That's what we call them over here. We call them mung beans.
Exactly. So, but anyway, folks, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know how busy I am, and you're probably twice as busy because you got it going on.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. I love the work that you do. So look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget the Quantum Financial System manual just went on steroids because her website is now part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.